every night and every day for. You give it all, then you give more. That's good for footy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome along to Footy Fanatics. This is the That's Good Footy Grand Final show. You happy? Who's going to win? Richmond? Can I see a show of hands for the Tigers? Can I see a show of hands for Adelaide? Ooh. Well, yeah, a little bit of that, the good, bad and the ugly. Welcome along tonight, though. You're at the That's Good Footy panel show. We've got two champions here from their respective clubs. You must be excited that they're both here. They're both retiring from the game. We're sad about that, aren't we? Yeah, we're going to miss them. We're going to miss them a lot. So let's give them a nice big That's Good for Footy welcome when they get out here. You guys need to get involved in the show, win some prizes, we'll get some photos, buy some memorabilia, all that sort of stuff. Just have a lot of fun tonight because this show's basically it's built for you because this is where the fans meet the players and the players meet the fans. Are you ready to have a good time? Yeah. All right, here we go. Our first panellist was born on the 9th of June 1982. He debuted in 2000. He was the number 13 draft pick of 1999. He has played 312 games and he kicked a total of 183 goals. When he played football, he wore the number 2 on his back. Please welcome to the stage, Robert Murphy.
Sons of the West, red, white, and blue.
Welcome, mate. Yes, please.
Come out smiling, Bulldogs blue and
Welcome along, Robert Murphy, to the That's Good for Footy panel show.
Thanks for having me. What a big, beautiful, loud crowd.
Yeah, they're awesome, aren't they? I've waited a long time to get Robert on the show, and I'm bloody rapt that he's here. I'm disappointed that he's actually retiring from the game, but I wish you all the best in your future endeavours. But you've had a stellar career, my friend.
Thank you. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I appreciate reading the birth date out, 1982. Almost middle-aged.
Yeah.
So looking forward to life after footy. Hopefully find something to do that's a bit easier on the knees.
Yeah. Well, tonight will be like that. Tonight's easy on the knees, so you'll be able to get through this one. No worries at all. Let's get our second panellist out here, ladies and gentlemen. He was born on the 17th of October, 1982. He debuted in 2001. He's played 336 games and he's kicked a total of 718 goals. When he played football, he wore the number 12 on his back. Please welcome to the stage, Nick Riewoldt.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in, oh, when the Saints go marching in, oh, how I want to be with St Kilda, when the Saints go marching in.
What a lovely warm welcome you ladies gave. Nick, they just can't get enough of saying goodbye to you.
Yeah, a few familiar faces from the other day, which is why I love St Kilda. Very, very loyal, passionate people.
Exactly. So. Especially Jasmina down the front here has got I Love a Rui top on, and she's right into it. So thank you very much. Good to have you along, everyone. Let's get into the show. Boys, you'll just ease yourself into this like an old man warming into a warm bath. It's a bit like that. We'll see how we go with it. Here we go. We'll introduce the segment. It's called What About Me? You'll feel right at home tonight. All the music's just in that era and it'll just be, oh, this is good, Damo. I like this.
I'm just getting used to being sort of a bit higher than everyone else. I feel like a pharmacist. I'm kind of getting off on the power up here.
Yeah,
nice.
It's a bit like that. Yeah, these
good.
seats don't,
That's okay.
don't go far enough either. Let's get into it, boys. What I'm going to do, just going to let these people get to know you a little bit more. Nick's actually done the show before, so I'm going to go with Nick first, so it gives you a little bit of time just to prepare yourself for each question as it comes your way. We'll go with our first question to you, Nick. When you were growing up, which team did you barrack for?
I was a Hawks supporter.
Yep.
And my favourite player growing up was Jason Dunstall. I was fortunate enough to do a TV show early in my career, and Jason Dunstall was one of the hosts. He was my favourite player until I met him.
That was, yeah, right. That was Live and Kicking, wasn't it? Was that the show?
It was called The Gospel.
Oh, The Gospel.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we got taken off the air, actually. We probably said a few too many inappropriate things.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was back before everything was politically correct.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nothing like this show then. Yeah, I get it. Now, who were you barracking for when you grew up, Robert?
I was a Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Ooh.
a Tiger, and my favourite player was Matthew Richardson, and
Yeah.
I had a better experience than Nick did meeting his hero.
Yeah.
I'm still mates with Richo, so that was a much better
Oh,
experience.
beautiful. Yeah, good. Yeah, no, I can get that. Who would you rate as your favourite player of all time, Nick?
Probably one of my teammates, Lenny Hayes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he was a combination of great player and great person.
Yeah,
so,
good.
Yep, he's a beauty.
Nice attributes, yep.
I would have said Nick. I sort of thought that was the agreement there that we'd
What happened there?
bit flat about that, to be honest. So I'll go with one of my teammates. But I think Marcus Bontempelli's a bit of a special
Yeah,
one.
right. Yeah, good. Yeah, good answer. I like it. Who was the worst dresser at the club over the time that you've been there?
I think I answered this last time.
Yeah.
Stephen Baker was an extraordinary dresser. He would pull out clothes that he'd owned for 15 years. One day he forgot socks, so he got a face washer from the footy club and used 2 face washers as socks. Just tucked them into his shoe. He was very unique.
That is a unique cat.
We've had a lot of bad dressers, but the most unique dresser we've ever had was Will Minson. So Will's kind of standard Monday outfit would have been a pastel polo with a sort of a green knit,
Oh.
a slack, but a Reebok pump as a shoe. And the thing that used to surprise me most about that was that when Will walked into the room and the players were just aghast with what he was surprised. I was like, Will, we do this every week. You wear that, they gasp, and you get surprised. What's happening here?
It became repetition after a while. Who used to spend the most amount of time in front of the mirror at the gym over the period of time that you've been there?
Back in the early days, it probably would have been Aaron Hamill. He spent a lot of time in front of the mirror. Then Matt Maguire took the mantle, and now it's well and truly belongs to Maverick Weller.
Maverick Weller, of course.
Matt Maguire, then Maverick Weller, yeah.
I could just about see that.
Oh, ours, we only got one. It was Matty Robbins. From from beginning to end, he barely lifted the weights. It took him 4 hours to get through a gym session because there's a lot of time just looking at the mirrors.
Where is your favourite holiday destination, boys? Now that you've got, obviously, this free time on your hands coming up, but where's been your favourite holiday destination and where would you probably like to go again now?
Well, I'm really fortunate that mine's only an hour away. My favourite place to go in the world is to the east coast of Tassie. I've got a shack down there with the family, so we'll head down there on Sunday afternoon. We'll go to the grand final Saturday, watch Jack play, and then head down Sunday and spend a couple of weeks down there. So
beautiful, bit of fishing.
Great part of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Byron Bay for me. I've probably been to Byron Bay the last 14 years in a row, and I like to get up there with all the hippies and
just blend in.
Yeah, try and blend in for a little while. The first time I went, I came back. You know, some people go on a holiday destination, they get a bit carried away and start to want to blend in with the locals.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I went to Byron Bay, I came back dressed in a sarong.
Oh, really?
So, do you think I got carried away?
Just a tad. We said come away and enjoy yourself, not come away and look like us. Yeah, okay. Who was your toughest opponent throughout your career?
I had a few. I mean, every week I was really lucky at training to play on Max Hudson. So he was just such a tough opponent. On a Thursday afternoon, you'd just be wanting to get through training and roll into the game, and he would bash the life out of me at training on a Thursday. He was really tough to get a kick on. Lesser known guys for me, that were probably a bit more dour. So Craig Bolton from Sydney, Luke McFarlane from Fremantle. They were the hardest blokes to get a kick on.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, well, I played sort of a bit of forward and back. When I was a forward, the hardest opponent was Max Hudson as well. That was a torrid day playing against Max, and as a backman, a lot to pick from. But Stevie J is one that probably stands out.
Yeah, right.
Because everyone sees the tricks that he does and how clever he is, but he's probably underrated of how much ground he covers. He covered. He didn't cover a lot the last year or so, but early days he used to run hard.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. What headline would you like to wake up and see? Right now, what would your favourite headline be if you wanted to wake up and see a headline? What would it be?
16-team betting scandal uncovered, allowing the Saints and the Dogs to play in the grand final solo.
I can't top that.
No, that's not bad.
But I'd be so worried about how I was going to go if we were playing in the grand final this week. I have not lifted a finger the last month.
You don't have to, Nick. It's cool. Who was the most annoying opponent that you've ever played on? Or with? We can throw with in there as well.
Jason Ackermanis was pretty annoying.
Yeah.
That's probably on the friendlier side of things. Opponent. Stevie Baker was. Yeah, Stevie Baker was. He was a pretty niggly sort of guy. Yeah. He liked to be a bit punchy.
Bakes was annoying, but Bakes was violent as well.
Oh yeah.
I remember walking into the change rooms one day at Moorabbin, and Bakes was sitting there with his footy boots, and he had a file, and he was filing the stops on his footy boots into points.
Oh no!
So that he could.
That's borderline psychotic.
He didn't end up going through with it. We said you're probably taking it a little bit far, but he just
like a butcher.
Yeah. He just wanted to hurt people.
That is
violence.
Oh jeez, I'm getting visions of seeing something out of the movie with. Oh God, I'm going to struggle with it now. I'm not even going to go with it. I'm just going to leave it.
Yep.
I just had bad visions. What I'd like to ask you now, what do you think is better, goal or mark of the year?
I've taken probably one of the best marks ever. So I'd prefer to kick a really good goal.
I'm more of a sort of tackle man. I would prefer tackle of the year.
I don't want tackle of the year. Did you see the reaction on obviously Monday night? You were both there between the Joe Danaher and Howie, thinking that probably he had mark of the year as being a.
I was on the table next to Collingwood, and I think everyone agreed that Jeremy Howe's mark was better than Joe's. Joe got very high, but Joe's a much bigger man. But I was very surprised when Jeremy Howe came up to us. I've never met Jeremy Howe, and he just came up and told us that he was robbed.
Wow.
He'd had a few, but he was making sure everyone in the room
knew
how disappointed he was.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. There's some insight into the Brownlow. Wow. Yep.
I thought Jeremy Howe's mark was a touch better than Joe's. I mean, they were all great ones, but yeah. I mean, maybe they went down the path of. Well, it was voted on by the fans, though, wasn't it? Yeah, so I can't even go the angle of they probably assumed Jeremy will take another one next year.
Yeah. And the movie I was thinking of was Inglourious Bastards. That's why I was having trouble with it. So, yeah, that's where I was going with that. Who's the one player you'd want to have the ball at the end of the game, after the siren, to win the game?
For me, it'd be Brendan Goddard.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, beautiful
Stands
kick.
resolute.
He did it in the 2010 grand final really late, took that huge hanger, went back and kicked one
Slotted it, yeah. It
40
brilliant.
straight in front. But, beautiful kick.
Yeah.
Great temperament.
Good.
I'd always go with the guys who like to kick the goals, who like them the most, and Eddie Betts doesn't miss too many.
Wow. Yeah.
Eddie Betts doesn't miss. He likes kicking them, Ed.
Yeah, I think he'll go right on the big stage coming up this weekend too. If you had the opportunity, who's the one player you'd want to meet on the planet? The one person you'd want to meet on the planet?
Gee, that's a good one. Do they have to be alive?
Doesn't have to be.
They don't have to be alive.
No, I don't. No. I like it to be because it's relevant, but it doesn't have to be.
I would just love 5 minutes with Elvis era, Vegas era Fat Elvis.
Yeah, right.
The young one. Okay, I want the big fella.
You wanted the deep fried Mars bar Elvis.
Yep, just want to kick back, just kick back.
Shooting
at the
television.
Flamingo,
Yeah.
have a cocktail with Elvis.
Right. I like that answer, Nick.
Well, mine's probably not that interesting. I mean, my sporting hero. My sporting hero is Tom Brady, so that's potentially achievable.
Yawn.
Yeah, I said it wasn't interesting. There was a disclaimer there. Yeah.
Where'd that one come from? What's your karaoke go-to song, boys?
Mine's The Joker, Steve Miller Band.
Steve Miller Band.
Yeah, that'd
Love
be my
it.
go-to.
Yeah, great.
Born to Run.
That's right.
Bruce Springsteen.
Bit of
Yeah.
Bruce, so you've won me back now.
Yeah, thanks.
We're back.
Gee, I feel good about myself now. Got the tick of approval from Bob.
My life is complete. All right. What do you most look forward to in retirement, boys? Is there such a question I can ask you just yet?
Yeah, I've been going to Texas in the off-season for the last 17 years, and being an athlete, I had to be quite disciplined, so I'm looking forward to really indulging when I get over to Texas, into the Tex-Mex, the Mexican, and really just unloading on the food. I love food, and I haven't been able to eat as much as I would have liked the last 17 years. So
I bloody love
I'm
that
looking
answer.
forward to. Actually, Joey did the panel with me a few weeks ago. He's put on about 7 kilos, Joey,
Already?
in a month. But I'm looking forward to putting on a few. Yeah.
Not 7. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I guess the obvious things are, you know, time with the kids and holiday and all that. But it's the specific thing is, for about 17 years, the amount of times I've been cooking beautiful Italian food at home and not had a glass of red wine while cooking it, that's a human rights violation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, someone needs to pay for that. That's not good. Thank you, though, boys. Hey, Nick Rewalt, the number one song on the day that you were born was this.
It's a good omen for this week.
Very. Eye of the Tiger. So the number one song on the day that you were born, which I thought was pretty cool back in 82. And Bob Murphy, the number one song on the day that you were born was this. I thought you'd like that. Yeah, it's got a bit of substance to it, hasn't it? Yeah. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, which I thought was quite appropriate for you. So I know you've done a few gigs with UMI frontman down at the Corner Hotel, and you love your rock and roll. So I
do love my rock and roll. Have I done a few gigs with them? That's probably a little bit loose, but...
Yeah. But that's your song anyway. We've got Sandy down there, and we just might take some questions from the floor for you boys. How can we... who have we got there, Sam?
I got Ray Martin.
Oh, Ray Martin. Welcome along to the show, Ray.
Hi, Bob.
Hello, Ray.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, mate?
My goodness, do you know what? I've been around the club longer than you, mate.
That's right. Well, I mean, I didn't want to make it a competition, but if it is, you win.
1953, Bob. 1953.
1953.
Yeah,
Okay.
my first match was Western Oval, playing Geelong, and George Ganninan was playing his last game for Geelong.
Okay.
Yeah, well, okay. There you
Very
go.
nice.
You timed
That
your
was in
run
90
pretty well. Pretty good year,
That was in
1954.
1953.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Do you remember, were you around when Kelvin Templeton was playing or not?
No.
Did after.
I said 82, not 52. Come
No,
on.
I know.
Be nice,
I've
Ray.
met Calvin and had spent a little bit of time with him, but no, we just were like ships in the night. We missed each other by about 23 years, I think.
Those ships went back straight at the time. Wow. Thank you, though, Ray. What else have we got, Sam?
Stand up. I got Andrew.
Hello, Andrew. Come on in.
Hey Nick, how are you?
Peachy. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. It's important to have good night's sleep on a interstate trip. Is there anything specifically that you always took away on interstate trips?
That's loaded.
Yeah, sounds it.
Oh, I packed a doona and a pillow, and always took a couple big bags, almost like a couple big suitcases on interstate trips. So I took my own doona.
Doona?
Yeah, doona.
Knew it was coming.
I just don't like sleeping in hotel beds. You know, the
Yeah.
sheets are stiff and
Just another piece of the puzzle to slot
yeah.
in the...
yeah. Well,
Very nice.
Some people would call it crazy, but I thought it was professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I like it too.
Yeah.
San, we got another one? We got a couple.
They're meant to stay in house, those little secrets, Keechy. You're not meant to let
Yeah.
those out.
Yeah. Means you didn't want that one asked, Keith, but thanks anyway. What else we got, Sam?
I got 2 from Facebook here.
2 from Facebook.
Angie to Bob. Do you think Bulldogs will use this year's pain of missing out to bounce back next year?
Yeah, it's a good question. A bit too serious for this format,
Yeah,
but I think that's pretty bang on. Actually, I think what was Paul Keating's line about the recession we had to have?
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe in time that the group of players we got, that young group, this might have been the year that they had to have. So a bit painful for guys like myself.
Yeah.
But they'll bounce back. They're a special bunch of boys.
Absolutely. And you got one more there, Dal.
And Danny to Nick, would you ever move to Texas?
Would you ever move to Texas?
Well, we're going there in November for a few months. We don't have to race back this year, which is good. But in the short term, we'll be in Melbourne. I think work's going to dictate that we stay here. But we'll probably go there at some stage and live there for a while. So I really enjoyed it over there. It's completely different.
Yeah.
I'll struggle to get an assistant coach gig anywhere over there. There aren't too many footy leagues where I can go and work, but no, we'll get there at some stage.
What is it that actually makes you feel the most comfortable when you're there? Is it just the atmosphere? Is it the people? Is it the food?
It's the people.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of similarities between the southern part of America and Australia. Very hospitable, very friendly.
Yeah.
But I hear a lot about that southern hospitality, and that's absolutely true. They're
right.
just very welcoming. It's just got a great feel about it, and be a great place to raise our kids.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. Very nice indeed. All right, well, what we're going to do, have you got one more question, have you?
Two more.
Two more.
Two
All right,
quickly.
make them snappy.
Okay, I got Ari here.
G'day, gents. Just a question for Bob. You said a while ago you hadn't watched the replay of the grand final yet. Have you gotten around to it?
No, I haven't gotten around to it. I don't know when. I'm sure I will at some point, but as you can imagine, it's a bit of a heavy emotional kind of toll, and after the last couple of years, kind of trying to just decompress a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I get around to it, I'll give you a buzz, you come around, and I'll make you some beautiful Italian food, we'll drink that bottle of wine, and I'll watch I'm not watching it, I just haven't.
Yeah, just not yet. The time's got to be right. I wouldn't mind coming around to your place for that bottle of wine too. One more, Sam.
Callum to Nick.
You'll be waiting a while. I'm still waiting on an invite too.
Oh, really? Yeah, right.
I've been waiting about 5 years.
Don't hold your breath.
Okay, I got Callum. A question for Nick.
Did you say Callum, Sand?
Callum, for question for Nick.
Hi, Callum.
Hi. Are you ever going to consider going back to St Kilda for coaching?
Well, I'd consider everything. I wouldn't rule out anything, but it's right down the bottom of my list next to becoming a politician. I've seen what coaching does to too many of my previous coaches, and I just don't think I could put myself or my family through it.
Not through that.
Players are crazy, but coaches are
Another level.
Another level crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, they just lose their minds and they lose their hair.
Yeah, I hear you.
Two things that I value. So
Right. So the short answer, Callum, no. Boys, we're going to talk a little bit about the grand final. We're not going to go into it in too much depth, but we do just want to allude to it because it is a footy panel show after all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to introduce it. Sam, let's go with that. Strangely enough, it's the Eye of the Tiger, I think. This game, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by the Big Picture people, the experts in home cinema. Now let's get a little bit of insight from these two champions. They've got 600-odd games, nearly 700-odd games between them, so it'd be nice to get a little bit of insight and opinion from them. So, boys, I wanted to find out your thoughts. I'll ask you a couple of things. Normally, you'd probably favour a team that is dogged about it, like the Western Bulldogs from last year, that they just wanted it more. They looked like they did throughout the final series and also going into the grand final. And then they came out victorious from it. Richmond looked like they want it just as equally as bad this year as the Western Bulldogs. I'm using that comparison. But in also saying that, there's a lot of things that have happened in Adelaide. Dean Bailey. We talk about, obviously, the tragedy with Phil Walsh. Sam Jacobs just recently lost his brother. These boys have got the same kind of ambition to want to win. Not that any team doesn't go in there not wanting to, but there's a lot of personal things that have happened at both clubs. Tommy Hafey with Richmond, that want to see each team get across the line. There's a lot going on it.
Yeah, there is. I think both teams have got something intangible. You can't really put your finger on what it is, but it's a spirit amongst the playing groups that's allowing them to give great effort every week and really play for each other. That's really obvious watching the game. So, yeah, look, I think as far as stories in world sport, if Adelaide do happen to get up and win this week, it would be one of the great sporting stories probably of all time. Not too many, as tragic as it is, you don't hear about too many professional coaches in world sport, I mean, getting murdered, and then their team comes out 2 years later and wins a title. So that would be absolutely incredible. They don't have one top 10 draft pick on their list, the Adelaide Crows, which is just staggering.
Yeah.
That's another great element to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you're right. Both teams have got something special about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think clearly they've proven all year the talk was about how even the competition was, and the final series they've really exerted themselves, both teams, as clearly the best two teams in the competition. And like, you know, we've all just spoken about, the Tigers don't have a mortgage on the sentiment of the grand final. As romantic and as big an event as it would be if the Tigers can get up, the Adelaide story is just as incredible. So, the two best teams. I mean, I've tipped Adelaide all week with one eye shut because I feel like it's that tight.
Yeah. Where do you see the key matchups? And as I said, we won't go into it too deep, but just where do you see the key matchups being won and lost?
Oh, I don't think it'll be any sort of head-to-head matchups. I think it'll be how the game's played, to be honest. I think if Adelaide play a real kick and catch style, they like to possess the ball when they move it down the ground, and Richmond's great strength is their ability to apply pressure. But if teams are kicking it and then marking it, all you can do is stand the mark. You can't actually apply any pressure. So if Adelaide are allowed to do that, I think that they'll win the game. You know, we know Adelaide are going to kick somewhere, you know, between probably 12 and 15 goals. Richmond's challenge will be able to kick a winning score, I think.
Absolutely, yep.
I think what Nick said is exactly right. I think we'll get a really good sense of what might happen early.
Yep.
You know, what Nick's saying about Adelaide being able to kick and catch and run. I think the Tigers were let off the hook a little bit last week when their pressure was good, but GWS was still able to move the ball pretty freely.
Yep.
So they got away with it a little bit in the first half last week, and then they clamped them, and then they ran away with it.
Yeah.
So if the Crows are hitting the lead up, you see guys like Tex Walker and Tom Lynch marking on the lead.
Yep.
That spells a bit of trouble for the Tigers.
For sure. What do you think of the Power Rangers stance? I suppose the colloquial term they're using for it, of the boys and not embracing arm in arm. They're actually just standing there stiff as a statue. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we make a big deal out of it because it's different, but really all it is it's just a trigger for the players to be able to get into a certain headspace. I know Richmond do something pretty similar. They do a lot of mindfulness stuff. They look at the ground and do it in their own way. But yeah, that's all it is. I mean, it's
just about getting into your opponent's
it's just about your mindset rather than intimidation.
There's a bit of placebo in footy though. We're not the most rational beasts when we're in the cut and thrust of the game. So if you do those things and then you finish 12th on the ladder. Well, next year the stands probably gets chucked out. But you're on the top of the ladder, you've won finals in a row, and that's what you do, and that's part of this armour you put on. Yep. It becomes a real thing, even though it's not real. You dig?
I do. It makes a lot of sense. Because it is, again, it's a mindset. So, I get where you're coming. I probably think for the Richmond supporters, it was wonderful last week, the preliminary final, because... What was it, 122 decibels? It was between an AC/DC concert and a jet aeroplane. The sound of the supporters getting out and really supporting the Richmond faithful coming out. Amazing to see Richmond get up and that many people, 97,000, 98,000 people at the MCG. So it was great that they got that last week. Unfortunately, now this week they come up and there's only 17,000 tickets available to both teams, which is a little bit unfortunate. But in saying that, they had a really good preliminary final. You'd agree with that?
Yeah, I was there. It was deafening. It was obviously the most one-sided final as far as crowd went in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Just because GWS have 13 supporters. The rest were all Tigers fans. But look, it was an incredible start to the game in particular. That noise was amazing. But this week will be a lot more even. Both teams get equal access to tickets. You would assume, being a Melbourne-based club, that Richmond would have the majority of the crowd, but there's a lot more neutrality in the crowd, given the fact that there's a lot more corporates attending.
Too true, for sure. I get it. The last thing I wanted to allude to here, and obviously I want you both involved in it, but there was a lot of similarities between the Western Bulldogs of last year and the Richmond team of this year. They both played off in the VFL in the grand final. Richmond have had the same kind of success coming from as far back as what they are to get into play a final this year, a grand final. Richmond lost on the weekend last Sunday by 4 points. It was a great game against Port Melbourne. Do you see any similarities between the two teams, Robert, from your perspective?
I do. I do see some similarities, more in the spirit of the teams and the fact that in the pre-season and just before the season started, that a lot of people had sort of written Richmond off, so no, and Hardwick wasn't going to be there, and they really embraced that gang mentality of us against the world, and they've used it to propel themselves up, and now they've got that belief. So there's a similarity in that, but I don't want to be disrespectful in the way the personnel that they have, because they are a total original team. They're stars, but they're support crew of guys who, Tim Watson said on radio this morning, a couple of their players could jump up in your porridge and you wouldn't even know who they are, which I thought was quite an unusual analogy.
Yeah.
But he's quite right. We get so distracted by Rance, Cochin, Dustin Martin, Jack Rewalt, but it takes 22 to get you this far.
Yeah, great answers, boys. Thank you very much. I'll take your tips then. Who would you like to suggestively say? Heart or head?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same as Bob. I do it with absolutely no confidence. I think Adelaide, if both teams played their best, I think Adelaide's best is better.
Okay.
But, I mean, I think it's going to be incredibly tight, and I don't say it with any confidence. But my heart says Tigers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I cut and paste Nick for me there. It's just head, Crows just, but my heart's with the Tigers.
Great answers. And last question, boys. How did you find the Brownlow the other night?
Oof. Yeah, it's large.
Yeah?
Yeah.
First one when you didn't really have to worry about anything? Or?
Yeah, no, I was just a law unto myself on Monday night. Kath left early, which sort of gave me the green light.
Wow. That's wonderful.
Probably my highlight was seeing Dan Hanbury get Ross Lyon in a headlock at about 3 a.m. It was a friendly headlock, but...
Yeah.
It was a friendly headlock. It's funny. The function itself, it's pretty boring. It's a TV show, and we sort of sit there having a meal. But I got to say, the after party is one of the all-time great nights. I'll be sad that I won't be able to go. I might just.
We'll just go next year.
We'll just go.
It was great because I'd never really spent any time with Josh. I actually got a photo with Josh. Both Josh Kennedys, one on each side.
A Josh Kennedy sandwich.
Josh Kennedy sandwich. So I'd never met those blokes really before. I'd never met Dan Hanbury, many of the Sydney boys before. So the opportunity to mingle with some of the players from other teams was really good fun.
Oh, that's awesome. And your wife looked beautiful, by the way, Nick. She looked absolutely stunning. Beautiful dress and I
Yours
loved
too,
it.
Bob.
She'd be flat with that, Justin. If word gets back, we're in trouble.
It won't. Thanks, boys. We got your tips for that. Thanks for sharing a little bit of those stories. Can you put your hands together for the boys, please? Thanks, guys. Very nice of you to do so. You feel free to grab one of those, Bob. We're going to have a little bit of fun now. We've discussed a little bit of football with the boys. What we need is two contestants to come up here, and all you're really going to be doing is turning over the paddles. You don't have to do too much, and you'll win about $200 worth of vouchers. I might as well look after them. I've got one here and one here. We'll take you two ladies. If you could bring them up, please, Sam, and then introduce them, that would be lovely. Thank you very much. Alex.
Me and Rebecca.
Alex and Rebecca, thank you, ladies. We're going to pass these two scoring systems down to you because you're going to be looking after these and you'll be turning them over. I'm going to introduce the segment. It's a pretty cool little song to introduce the segment too, Bob. It's called Yesterday's Heroes.
Take a look at me, I'm yesterday's hero. Yesterday.
And at any stage, Nick will ask you, do you know who sang that? And you will say... Sorry, you don't get a point for it, but... JP... Why? No, we wouldn't have got it. All right. Ladies, Alex, get back in here. Stop going out of the frame. We need you to get in here. Face that way because you're going to be on the... you're going to be on camera. How's that? What we're going to do here, boys, as I said, the segment's called Yesterday's Heroes. I'm going to be asking you, and I want you boys... I didn't bring buzzers tonight because sometimes I feel a bit stupid doing that. You're going to pick up the microphone and just say, Nick is going to be your buzzer, and Rob, you'll go, Rob. I'm going to ask you the year... that these players won the Norm Smith medal. And you have to then tell me who that player was and from what club. Okay? It's the first 1 to 5. All right? So we're going to go with the year that you were both born. And I'll give you I'll actually give you the club. You can just tell me the player. That'll make it easier. Yeah. It's 1982
Bob.
and it was Richmond. Bob.
Morris Rioli.
Correct. He's got 1 point. There you go. We'll go now with 1987 from Carlton.
Bob.
David
Rhys-Jones.
Correct. All right. This is not bad. All right, we'll go with 1990 from Collingwood.
Bob.
Tony
Shaw.
Correct. Oh, this is going to be a whitewash. This is not bad. I might have to flip this over and get something that could be a little bit more relevant. Now let's have a look here.
How do you know that?
Just a real nerd.
What a footy nerd.
It's not bad. I like it. Let's try this one.
Get a life,
2002 from Collingwood.
Nick. Bucks.
Correct.
Bucks?
Well done, mate. There you go. 1995 from Carlton.
Bob.
Greg
Williams.
Correct.
Diesel.
Sitting on 4. So the next one will win if it's Bob. Let's see how we go here. In 2000 from Essendon.
Nick. 2000. Hurdy,
correct, mate. Yeah, well done. All right. Sitting on
I was
2.
going to say Michael Long. What was that, 93?
1993
Yeah,
from
Michael
Essendon.
Long, Nick.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nick.
thanks.
Oh, no, correct. Yeah. Michael Long, not bad. Jeez, that was a good
all
get,
of a
mate.
sudden, what's the score?
What a great comeback.
Ooh,
4 versus 3. In 2005...
Nick.
Who
won that year? Sydney.
No.
So it would have been... Was it Juddy?
It was Chris
Yeah.
Judd. Wow. So it's 4 apiece.
It's almost like he didn't have the answer when he buzzed.
Yeah. I've got to start putting timers on this, don't I, Bob? Here we go, boys. First one in, because we're both on 4. Let's see how we go. Who was the Norm Smith medalist in 2010?
Nick. Was, well...
Yes.
Yeah, which one? The first one was Lenny Hayes, and the second one was Scott Pendlebury.
Correct.
What a comeback.
Not bad.
Come from the clouds.
Not bad at all. And just to make Bob feel special, Norm Smith medalist 2016.
Jason Johannesson.
Yeah! All right. Well, we have a winner, unfortunately. Sorry, Rebecca, wasn't you. It was Alex. Alex, congratulations. What I've got for you, Alex, is $200 worth of vouchers. You've got $20 from Celebrations, $40 from your jersey, $100 from the Lobster Cave, go down there with a couple of mafia mates, $20 from Big Pig, Little Pig, and a $20 from the Framing Queen. So if you ever need something framed, she'll look after you. So that's all yours. Alex, you don't go empty-handed. Here's a stubby holder, excuse me, Rebecca, a stubby holder and bumper sticker and a key ring, and I'll take that little score pad off you. Yeah, I won't take the prizes back. You've won those. All right, well done. Congratulations. Put your hands together, please. See, that wasn't too bad, boys. You're going to be scoring now for the individuals that we're going to get up for this segment. And we've got 2, have we?
Yep. I've got Philly.
And they're both barrack for St Kilda. We need one from...
No, I've got one of each.
Oh, good,
And I've got June. June goes for St Kilda. Philly goes for Western Bulldogs.
June for St Kilda.
Philly's
Hello, June.
actually Jeff Jennings' mum. That was ex-coach. No, ex...
How are we going?
Was he Jeff Jennings? Captain. Captain.
He was captain from 79, 80, 81.
Captain of Western Bulldogs.
Yes, Western.
Oh, lovely.
Jeff Jennings.
All right, and the lady's name?
Bulldog royalty.
Philly?
Philly.
Yeah.
Hello, Philly. Nice to meet you. And welcome along yourself, June. You both feeling well? Yeah, good. What's going to happen here, ladies? We want to see how much you actually know about your clubs. We're talking respective clubs, as in this year. And what I'm going to be doing here, these 2 boys are going to be keeping score for you. And we've got 45 seconds on the clock, so the pressure's going to be on. We're going to start with you first, June. All right, we're going to do St Kilda first. I'm going to give you the surname of all the players from the St Kilda Football Club. You have to give me their Christian name. All right? That's what you have to do.
Jack.
Yeah, that's not bad. But you've got 45 seconds on the clock, so you'd like to beat Philly, I'm sure. So we're going to go through them and see how good you are at this. Are you ready to go, my dear? You've got 45 seconds on the clock. Speak nice and clear and concise into the microphone. Can we just test it out with you? Can you say hello?
Testing, testing.
Not bad. We'll get you a recording studio after this. So, are you ready to go, my dear? June?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start with your first one. You need to give me his Christian name. His surname is, and we're starting the clock now, Hickey.
Who?
Hickey.
Hickey?
Hickey.
Oh, Hickey. Tom.
Yes, yeah, well done. Carlisle.
Jake.
Jake, yeah, that'll do. Stephen. Jack, very good. Gresham.
Jake.
Jake, all right. Savage.
Shane.
You're doing so well. Ross.
Sebby.
Yeah, that'll do. Very good. Dunstan.
Luke.
Very good. Akers.
Blake.
Steele.
Jack.
Freeman.
Who?
Freeman.
Is this a quiz or a choir?
Yeah, I know. That was hilarious. Oh, you got 10. June. I was about to say you got 10. I think you got 2. They got 10. Yeah, but well done. No, you did very well, my dear. 10's a great score. All right. So Philly.
Yes.
You're up next, my dear. How are you feeling? A little bit confident now you've seen how it works?
Very nervous.
Oh,
My
don't be
memory's
nervous.
Very bad.
Oh, no. You're amongst friends here. Didn't you see them all shout out the answers? Now, we'd like you all to do the same for Philly, I think. All right. Philly, are you ready to go, my dear?
Ready? Yep.
Yes, you are. Here we go, then. We're going to start the buzzer. Well, we're going to start the clock now with your first one. Suckling.
Matt.
Correct. Murphy.
Bob.
You're correct. Wallace.
Terry.
I've got to keep going. It's Mitch. Bontempelli.
Marcus.
Yes. Boyd.
Tom.
Matthew or Tom, that'll do.
Tom or Matthew.
Dalhouse.
Luke.
Luke, yes. Hunter.
Oh, yes. Lachlan.
Lockie, well done. Cramery.
Rod.
Stuart, yes, yeah. Stringer. Jake. Wood. Easton, yes. McRae. Oh, no.
We got 10.
All right. I'm going to read out one for each of you because we've got a tie, all right? And it's the first one in with the answer. The first one in with the answer, okay? So, Philly, you're going to go first. I'm going to read out their surname. You have to give me their Christian name. I'll give you their name, and you've got to tell me their name. Are you ready?
Yep.
Philly, their surname is Jong.
John. John. Oh, you got to go. No idea.
No good?
No idea. Oh, Lynn John.
Yeah! Wow! How did you get that? That's fantastic.
He's not playing at the moment.
No, he's not, but he's still part of the Western Bulldogs, and you got it right. So I'm going to do the same now for you. All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Your answer, your question is Membry.
Tim.
Oh, man. This is going to go on all night. All right, here you go. One quick one. Rice. Shh.
Damien.
No. Bailey.
Bailey. Oh, that's right.
See, we have to come up with a winner. I have to play bad cop. You didn't win that one, my dear. I'll look after you with something nice. I'll give you a runner-up prize for that. But, Philly, you're our winner. If I could... June, if I could just pass you that, you're the runner-up, all right? So that's yours. But on top of... I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll go this way. Oh. June, that's for you. Yeah, you have to drink it before you leave. No, you don't. You don't at all. But Philly, you're our winner. There's all the vouchers for you, my dear. Thank you very much. Thanks for playing. Thank you for being involved. Nice to have you here. Thank you. Thanks, boys. Thank you very much. We're going to go into a little segment. It's a little bit of fun. It's just one-word answers, boys. All right, I'll ask them. You just shout it out as you feel free. We'll introduce it. It's called What Can I Say? Oh, Skags. Yeah. It's just checking. All right. What can I say? Finish this sentence with one word. Would you like to see State of Origin return?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Is the shot clock good or bad for football?
I mean, it's irrelevant, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dull.
Okay.
Who cares?
Yep. Playing down in Tassie is?
Emotional, sentimental for me. Yeah, love it.
Great until you had to play the Hawks.
Oh, okay.
I loved
yeah.
everything about it until you play the Hawks and get
Okay.
pumped.
Yeah, right. All right. Should a 9-point goal be in home and away games?
No.
No.
No. Travelling interstate is?
It's okay if you got your doona.
Wow.
Well, I'd say comfortable.
That was beautiful. Well done, boys. Should Tasmania have a team of their own?
100% yes.
100% yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Should the ball be bounced or thrown up?
Start with a bounce and then throw it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nick?
Yep,
same?
I agree. Yeah,
Yep.
it's good.
St Kilda supporters are, Nick?
Wow, there's a lot of... One word's hard, but I'd just say loyal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Western Bulldog supporters are, Bob?
Fanatical.
Fanatical. Okay, I like it. Your thoughts on the Twilight Grand Final?
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it almost is. You know,
Yep.
like 3 o'clock's a different start to the other games. But yeah, no, I think it's inevitable.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think last week with the prelim being at that time?
Great.
Yeah. I think it was a perfect example of how good a grand final could
Yeah,
be.
I think the AFL had that in mind. I know that they used it by saying if there was a team from the other side of the country in it, that will make it later. But anyway, the rule of nominating in a ruck contest is
Farcical.
Yeah,
farcical.
ridiculous.
I
ridiculous.
like that. Yeah. What was your favourite ground to play on?
Etihad for me.
Okay.
The MCG on a good day is as good as it gets, but I loved playing at Etihad, especially when it was pissing rain in the middle of July, cold, miserable, put the roof on.
Yeah, I like it. Being an AFL footballer was...
A childhood dream. Draining.
Yeah? Yeah, draining. Yep.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was nice. Look,
Yeah,
it was.
good.
It was nice. It was.
I understand. And AFL...
Yeah, I don't like thinking about it too much.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's too soon.
Yeah, yeah. Bit
Too
raw.
soon.
I get it. An AFL coach's job is...
For the insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Following
Yeah,
on from
that's
that.
it. For
Yeah.
the insane.
Okay. Your thoughts on Good Friday football?
I'll leave it alone. I reckon it's one
Yep.
day.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
footy.
Nah, it's one day. We'll be right.
I got 2 points of view.
Yeah.
I agree with him, but the Bulldogs have got it, so we keep it.
Yeah, good. All right. Okay. Playing for the Saints was...
Oh, the greatest experience I've had in my life.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was
There you
amazing. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Jasmina? Do you like that? Good answer, yeah. And playing for the Dogs was?
Yes, an absolute privilege. Absolute privilege.
Good on you, mate. The Saints next year will finish?
Yeah, I'm going to say we'll sneak in.
Okay.
I reckon we'll finish 8th.
All right.
Yeah.
And Bob, same question for you. Dogs will finish?
I think we'll finish 4th.
4th. Okay, great. Thursday night footy is?
Not for me.
No?
Oh,
Not
no,
anymore.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think it's. I mean, it's hard. I know people. You have to get up and go to work on Friday, but
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All right. When you see a poster or merchandise of yourself, what do you think?
I wish I were better looking.
It's like it's someone else.
Yeah?
Really, that's the only way I can describe it. It's like it's sort of you're looking at someone else.
Outside of yourself?
Yeah, a little
okay.
bit. Yeah,
Wow.
it's hard to explain.
What was your reaction when you saw a kid with your number on their back?
I just smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Now that I've got kids and Bob's
Yeah.
got kids, it brings on a whole new meaning. So that's they're some of the great experiences you have.
Yeah, they are. But it does kind of freak you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because knowing that we used to be that kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So
yeah.
if I saw a kid with the number 2, he got the absolute VIP treatment.
Yeah.
I'd buy that kid lunch. It was Yep.
Oh, that's
Love 'em.
nice. Can I say, is that the same feeling when kids walk up to you with your playing card? Is that how you feel too when that happens? And they go, oh, Mr. Murphy, can you sign my card? And you're like, oh, yeah.
I'll put it this way. So that Shane Brewer, who has played at Geelong and Port Adelaide, he came to our school when I was about year 7 or year 8. And one of the teachers obviously told him my name. But I kicked him the ball. He handballed it back and said, there you go, Rob. I nearly passed out.
Wow.
I thought he knows who
me.
I am.
Yeah,
The secret's out. So whenever I went to a clinic, I would try and find out the kids' names to try and just replicate that.
Beautiful, mate.
That's what it's all about.
That is lovely. That is truly lovely. I love it. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I like that. Good round of applause. Is staging a reportable offence?
Yes.
Okay. Emphatic.
Fine them.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be overhauled, the whole system.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if Danger had won the Brownlow or had polled the most votes on Monday and he missed a Brownlow for that tackle, so the whole system needs to be changed.
Yeah, cool.
But stop paying the... So it's twofold, though. The umpires keep paying... The guy does the big dive.
Yeah.
He pays the free... Players will stop doing it if you stop paying the free kick, but if they don't stop, then fine them.
Yep. No, that makes sense, mate. Absolutely. No, that's it. No, it does. Pre-season games are...
Don't have to worry about him anymore.
Yeah, necessary evil.
Necessary evil. The deliberate rush behind rule is...
I think it's good. I like
right.
it. Yeah, keeps the ball alive more often. Yeah, I think it's exciting.
Good for footy.
Yeah,
Good for footy.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful. Love it. Do you like the bye round 23?
No,
not really.
terrible.
Oh, okay.
Terrible.
Good. All right.
Yep.
And your last one for this segment, boys. Tomato sauce, should it be kept in the fridge or the cupboard?
Well, two things. We're a ketchup family.
Oh, of course. Yes.
We have ketchup, stroller. We've got diapers. We've got a trash can. So we've got a lot of American terms.
Americanisms.
But and it's the ketchup is in the fridge.
Yeah.
To answer the question.
Oh,
No, you don't
no.
agree? No. Whoa.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh.
Wow.
Sorry, Alex. You won't be getting called over to Nick's place. All right.
I feel like we've had a good night. We've had a lot of laughs, and I feel like I'm probably a bit more popular than Nick after what we've. But I don't have sauce on anything.
Wow.
Not
Okay.
a pie. Don't care for sauce.
Yeah.
Feel the hate. Come at me, haters.
Well, yeah. Stuff you all. I like it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the boys, please. That was wonderful. Nothing. Nick's going, are you serious? Really? Nothing? Nothing. Oh, that's gorgeous. I like it. Thanks, boys. What we need now...
Wait, so if you have a sausage in bread, no sauce.
Mustard.
Mustard.
Really?
Do they look at you strange at Bunnings, Robert?
They look at me strange at Bunnings,
Oh, yeah.
whether I'm getting the sausage or
Sausage
whether
on
I'm
the-
wandering the aisles looking for a left-handed hammer.
Good on you, mate. That's what we like. We need two contestants up here. Sandra, have you got them for our next segment? Where is she? Oh, beautiful.
Do you want him up here?
Yeah, he can. Yeah, it's going to be a hard one because he needs to know all these questions, and I hope that that's going to be all right for him. But we'll get Nick to help him out. So, good evening. Oh, look at that. Oh, welcome to the show. Take the microphone in your hand. What would your name be?
Oliver.
Oliver. Very nice to meet you, Oliver. Welcome to the show. Have you met Nick?
No.
There you go. Meet Nick. Oh, now there's a moment. Did Mum capture that? Did you get that photo, Mum? Yeah. All right, good. Well done. All right, we need somebody else up here. Oh, okay. You don't mind, Robert? I suppose it's kind of part and parcel now, isn't it?
Braden.
Braden.
Welcome
Hello,
aboard,
Braden.
Braden.
Welcome to the show, boys. Hope you know a little bit about your clubs. And you're a Western Bulldog supporter, obviously?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sandy wouldn't have got you up here otherwise, would you? No, that's good. And Oliver, you know a little bit about the St Kilda Football Club?
Yes.
Good on you, mate. What we're going to do here, boys, I'm going to ask you a series of questions about your particular club, and you need to give me answers. Now, the boys are going to help you with a little bit of whispering in your ear, and We'll have a little bit of whispering Nick and a little bit of whispering Bob, and we'll see how we go. So I'm going to start with you first, Oliver, and we're going to go with St Kilda, all right? And I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and you just need to give me your answers, so you just speak into the microphone like I'm doing right now, and we'll see how we go, all right? How many premierships has your team won?
1,
1, yeah, very good. How many times has your team played in a losing grand final?
13,
14.
13,
Not bad, but only 6. So not too bad. It's all right. Who is your team's captain?
Gary,
Good boy. Well done. Who wears the number 7 at your club?
Benson,
Wow. It's like I'm hearing an echo. Well done. You got that one. Let's see who you go here. How many members does your club currently have? Closest to within 1,000.
42,000,
Oh, very good. 42,164. I like that. Question number 6 for you. Where did your team finish on the ladder at the end of the home and away season this year?
8,
Nick? It was actually 11th, Oliver, but that's not too bad. You were close. Question number 7. How many games did the St Kilda Football Club win this year at the end of the home and away season? Nick, help him.
11,
Very good. Yeah, 11. Can you tell me, Oliver, when did your team, the St Kilda Football Club, last win a grand final and who did they play?
66, and we played Collingwood.
Wow! Wow! Well done. You did. Now, can you tell me how many points that you won that game by?
1,
1. Yeah, you did. It was 1. You'll probably get all these. Can you name 3 coaches over the last 20 years?
Richo,
Yes. Yep.
Malcolm Blight,
Yes.
and Grant Thomas.
Oh my God, it's like you were there. Unbelievable. I think you ended up with a score of 10. Wow. That's not bad, Oliver. That's pretty well. That's a perfect score, mate. Oh, well, kind of wasn't because you got 2 wrong, but we'll give you 9. All right? Just to be fair.
Halfway.
Because we've got to get, Braden, he's got to have a shot and see how he goes. So we're going to do you now, Braden, and see how you go with this. But well done, mate. Congratulations. Can we put your hands together? Good on you, champ. How you feeling, Braden? You must be feeling pretty pumped after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. All right. Let's not get too excited here. How many premierships has your team won?
2.
Correct. Well done. How many times has your team played in a losing grand final?
Too many. 1.
No, they've only played in 1, which is good. You got it right. Very good. 1. Not too many. Who is your team's captain?
Hi, Bob. Bob.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is Bob. Yeah, well done. Not bad.
X.
Yes, ex-captain.
Ex-captain.
Yes. Well, we had to go with this year. Number 4. Who wears the number 7 at your club?
Hunter.
Lockie Hunter. Well done. It's like you're knowing all this. Number 5. How many members does your club currently have? Closest to within 1,000.
Like 40,000?
47,053. Very close. It started with a 4. Not too bad. Where did your team finish on the ladder at the end of the home and away season this year?
10?
Yes, it was 10th. Question number 7. How many games did your team win this year at the end of the home and away season?
11.
Wow. Yes, it was. 11. Question number 8. You ready for it? What year did your team last win a grand final and who did they play?
2016.
2016, and who did they play?
Swans.
Very good. And can you tell me how many points that you won that game by?
22.
22. Very good, mate. Yeah, you got it. And you'll be as good as Oliver in this one. Name 3 coaches over the last 20 years.
Terry Wallace.
Terry Wallace is correct. That's 1.
Luke Beveridge.
Luke Beveridge is another. One more.
Alan Joyce.
You guys are good. Very, very good. Which means you finished up with a score of 9 as well, which means you're both winners. Yay! So what's going to happen here, you're going to get a stubby holder, because you're probably going to need, beer after that. That was pretty intense. There's a bumper sticker in there and a key ring. You can also have, if you wouldn't mind, Nick, you can have a beanie, right? You two can have a beanie. And I'm going to have to hold on to that. But what I will do is I'll give you the same price back at the end of the show. But you've both got your beanies. Can you please put your hands together for these two wonderful little individuals? Thanks for participating, boys. If you'd like to put the microphones down, Sandy will give you a hand back down off the stage. Thanks for being part of the segment. You are...
You're simply the best.
There you go. Well done, boys. Very nice. We do these shows every Wednesday night. We've seen nearly 9,000 people this year that have come to the shows, and we're super proud of that. Because every Wednesday night we do them from venues all around Melbourne. They're no dissimilar than what we've just done this evening. If you've loved it, go and like the page, tell your friends about it. Come along and support us next year so we can do more of them, and we can get the ilk of these boys on the shows again in 2018. We want to do it, we want to keep doing it, and we need your support in order to do it. The shows are done live every Wednesday night. Get onto your Facebook page, go to the website to find out everything that you need to know. I want you to just thank Sam on audio that's done all the audio this year. He's been awesome. The lovely Sandy that looks after the door, the raffle tickets and all the framing. Great job, sweetheart. Thanks to Ben. He runs around, he does the intro to the show as well. Can you, whilst you're clapping and you've got that nice little momentum going, put your hands together for Nick Rewalt and Robert Murphy. I've loved having you two boys on. I'm so happy that you are available to be on tonight. I'm sorry I've kept you a little bit longer than I needed to, but I just wanted to say thank you very much. You've had wonderful careers. I wish you all the best with the future, whatever those endeavours are. A little bit of Texas, a little bit of Melbourne, a little bit of Nimbin, Byron Bay, whatever it is. No, thanks, mate. It's been wonderful having you here. I need to let you know we've got two shows coming up. One of them is on Friday, this Friday, 2 days away. It's down at a place called Big Pig, Little Pig in Moorabbin. At the moment, it's locked away and confirmed. We've got Max Scorn from the Melbourne Football Club and Ivan Maric from the Richmond Football Club. Those two boys are locked in and they're going to be there. So if you want to get along to it, you need to get onto, as I said, Facebook and so forth. And then we're doing a show. We haven't done this before. It's on October the 4th. Next Wednesday, it's a Richmond show. All right? And we're going to be doing it from the Burvale Hotel. If Jack Rewalt wants to come along, well, we'll see how we go with it. It's at the Burvale Hotel, Corner of Springvale Road and Burwood Highways in Nuttawading. All I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the That's Good for Footy panel show. You've been watching it tonight. Thanks very much for coming along. My name's Damien. Cheers and good night. Thank you, everyone.
Pray for every night.